to another very interesting edition of Health Matters, reaching you live from NTA Channel 12 Rio, your dependable station. This is a program where we x-ray a lot of health issues. We try to help you stay alive, live a better life, because health, they say, is wealth. I am your host, Umo Basedet. And today we have a very important personality, medical personality in the studio here. And that's talking about Dr. Odwa Usana, who is the president of the Medical Women's Association of Nigeria, Akwa Ibom State Branch. Hello and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm pleased to be here.
Good to have you. You'll be wondering what we are going to talk about today. We are going to talk about something very sensitive. If it's not bothering your daughter, it's going to be bothering your sister, it's going to, of course, your mother and your aunties and your female relatives. And that's talking about the menstrual hygiene. Menstrual hygiene is something that a lot of people neglect. You think it's nothing, but it's something, because what you do today may end up affecting you tomorrow. And that is why we have Dr. Sana here in the studio. Okay, so Doctor, yes. Menstrual hygiene. What would you say about menstrual hygiene?
Thank you very much. Menstrual hygiene is a process of taking care of your menstrual period when you are menstruating, after menstruating, and while you are expecting the next menstruation. It's a way of hygiene. Hygiene is usanidem. Usanidem means cleanliness. That is, you have to be sure that you have taken care of your birthing utensils, your personal effects, your clothing, the products, menstrual products you will use, and you will now expect the next menstruation. If you are not married and you're not expecting a pregnancy. So that is what menstrual hygiene is all about. When somebody is pregnant, you will not have menstruation. So it stops at that level. Upon that, we must take care of our female reproductive system, our genitalia. Thank you.
Okay, so in the absence of doing all of these things, what are the consequences?
Oh my God, the consequences are varied. For instance, if I'm not using a proper product, menstrual product, I could have infection. I could have inability to walk. I could have sores in my vagina. I could even infect another person. You know what happens in this reproductive system is that anything affecting my reproductive system, if I sit on the toilet, if I even use towel and hang on the line, that's why in most secondary schools now they are encouraged to bring their pants hanger. If I even hang it on the line, another person hangs her own underwear there, it will impact negatively on that person. It could affect my my personality. If I'm not taking care of my menstrual hygiene when I'm menstruating, if I'm passing, I could have a foul odor, yes, which will not have a positive impact on the person sitting beside me. So menstrual hygiene is very important, and the world is celebrating it. We are creating awareness, like Medical Women Association of Nigeria, in each state that we have a branch, like Akwa Ibom State. We are taking it up as a very important event, which will be celebrated, which is Menstrual Hygiene Day, is on 28th of May every year. That's the World Menstrual Hygiene Day. And you know, the theme is period-friendly world. This is a natural occurrence in the life of a young girl.
It's not sickness.
It's not a sickness at all. We have to debunk the idea that if I'm menstruating, I cannot go to church, I cannot sit in the parlor, I cannot cook. Those are myths that have been handed down from generation to generation. In fact, some people will say you cannot take the communion because you're menstruating, you cannot eat certain foods, you cannot drink like tea, you shouldn't take hot tea, you could not take a soft drink. In fact, in some climate, like in some tribes, they will keep those people outside. Rain and sun and shine will beat them. They cannot enter the house until they finish menstruating. I want to tell us that it is a physiological phenomenon that comes regularly. It's a cycle that God has created in the brain of a woman, that hormonal interplay will come up different levels that will make us to menstruate so number of days. And by the first day I start menstruation, like today is 13th of May, this is the day one of my cycle. So it is not a cast on stone thing that I must menstruate every first day of the month. My cycle might be 28-day cycle, meaning that on the 28th day of that month, I might menstruate again. That will be another cycle. So please, I might menstruate 3 days, another person menstruates 5 days, another person menstruates 7 days. So it is not that it is a sickness. It does not stop us from going to work. It does not stop us from eating. It does not stop us from going to church. It does not stop us from going to farm. Please, menstruation is a physiological process in the life of a woman. Once you are a girl child, you have to menstruate before you become a woman. You get married, settle down, start having, and it runs a span. The reproductive system, the reproductive age runs a span. Yeah. By the time I start menstruation, it's menarche. By the time I stop my menstruation, I've entered menopause. And menopause starts gradually. The cessation of menstruation is the final process of menopause.
Doctor, menopause is a topic for another day. We will go there. But still talking about menstrual hygiene, and this year's theme is the period-friendly world.
Yes.
How friendly is the world when young girls have to pay so much to get a pad? Every month you have to cough through your nose to get a pad, and you know that coincidentally you have condoms everywhere. Condoms are being distributed free of charge, but the cheapest pad now is about 1,000.
It's costly.
1,000. So I mean, where are we heading to? How friendly is the world? The producers are not friendly. People that are producing this pad are not friendly at all. How do they want our young girls, considering the number of young girls we have there in secondary school, how do they want them to cope?
No, as it is now, Medical Women's Association of Nigeria, we are carrying out a project called Pad a Girl. I've even seen other organizations are doing Pad a Girl. But I want to use this opportunity and implore on well-meaning Nigerians, well-placed citizens of our country and organizations, NGO, ministry, that I will request if this pad could be distributed to schools. At least a girl should have a pad every month. Look, you can imagine how condoms are very cheap now. In fact, there are different grades of condoms, and it's as bad as even distributing it free. What are we encouraging? For the little girls, that is a physiological process, and considering the socioeconomic status of some parents, considering how things are very tough, and our economy is, by God's grace, to be better than what it is now. Economic things are very expensive. So we will request that we should be able to pad a girl every time. The government should put it in their budgets, schools, especially it is worse if you go to rural areas where mothers and siblings are sharing things. Menstrual products should be encouraged to be more accessible and affordable and cheaper for us to buy.
Did you say that people actually share their menstrual sanitizer? Like, I don't understand, doctor. Have we gotten that bad?
What I mean by sharing, if you go to most, especially in the semi-urban and urban areas, rural, sorry, not urban, rural, the all semi-rural and even the rural areas, you will, if we carried out a project in community medicine, you could see that by the time you ask them about their menstrual hygiene, what are they using? Menstrual products. They will say wrapper. Okay. They will cut wrapper. When they cut wrapper, we will shape it in form of a pad, and we will use it. When we use it, we wash it, and when they wash it, you sun it or you dry it. Sometimes with some facilities, by the time some homes, by the time you hang those pieces, somebody will know. We should not be ashamed of our products. And another problem about the menstrual products, disposal is also a problem. Yes. We'll come to that. Properly disposed used pads. So we see some homes that I will finish menstruating, I will make sure that I pile my washed, clean pieces of wrapper and keep for the next sibling to use. It is very unfair. It's unhygienic.
Very unhygienic.
It's very unhygienic. So menstrual hygiene is how we are teaching people to be able to use menstrual pads. There is things have even developed onto menstrual cups in some high place peoples. Yeah. We have tampons. We have different things. So disposal too will also be a things we have to educate our young girls that you don't flush your used pads, please. It blocks the water system. You wrap it inside a paper, you put it inside a cellophane bag, and you put it inside your refuse bin, and it will be finally discarded in the refuse bins that are placed everywhere. Then some people even burn it. It's even we are trying to teach people how to burn their refuse. You could burn it, but it's not something we should flush. Please, this is still part of menstrual hygiene. Improper disposal of used menstrual products are even causing more menace to the society. Exactly. Because even when we pass by those refuse bins on the street, you will see pads littered on the streets.
See, they are not meant for decoration.
No, they are not decoration. And we know that men don't use these pads.
Of course.
God did not give them. It's us, the women. And we are supposed to be the mothers, the daughters, the sisters of the society. Exactly. So we should be able to encourage cleanliness, because by the time we are not clean, things will environment is negatively impacted.
Okay, so Dr. Sa, on a final note, what are the effects of practicing poor menstrual hygiene?
Oh, poor menstrual hygiene. Effects of practicing poor menstrual hygiene is that we will negatively impact on the health of another sister, another brother, your parents. And you know that flies too like a dirty environment. When those flies perch on everything, including our pad, including the dustbin, including the waste bin, they will now perch on our food. So it is like a vicious cycle. Yeah. It comes back to us. And by the time you're not even having a proper menstrual hygiene, this is what we call pelvic inflammatory disease. It could cause infection that would be ascending. We call them ascending infection to our different organs, the tubes, the ovaries, the uterus could be infected, and at the extreme, it will now contribute to infertility. Causes of infertility: I'm not able to produce a baby when I have now finally grown up, without even knowing I had been ill and what I had done when I was much younger. Then you don't know who will marry who will get engaged to who. So it will reduce reproductive capacity. It will impact negatively on the population of our country. So please, menstrual hygiene is as important as the air we breathe in. Because by the time you are not keeping your environment clean, I'm not healthy as a person, my reproductive life is affected, my productive life as well. I cannot go to school as a child because I'm falling ill. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Udwaku-san. You've heard it all. Those things that you think are taken for granted today could affect you tomorrow. Who knows? By the time, because you're not practicing good menstrual hygiene, by the time you get married tomorrow and you want to start having babies, you don't know that one infection that you got because of your poor menstrual hygiene could also lead to infertility. So a word to say is enough for the wise. And that's how it's been on Health Matters this week. We'll see you next week. Over to Prachigon at the video corner. Thank you.
So go is okay, banga a fang song with him go to Health Matters. A kamba manyan, mobasi, ye a kamba woke fang song with him. Menstrual hygiene. Bomb to me is okay, down me, a gift and Iban. Ranking is okay, down boy banga Iban. Nimpon to make an event Udomo, and soon Sudomo, Asogiban, Akinena for young Kama, Idim. Some menstrual hygiene is okay down me. itami awomo idara fusanga ke imens agetiso ana fukere boke amesani dem nem boke idemi banfu a good part uyaka ya abuyo awankanika iba ini asokoban truru mefoge kautum ana kere boke mikama mipada miki ipanfo uba wesi kama tissue paper sege kama ekaikot ini keki ifon busu kupango tongo kopsembia ibomba kage so tangal ifon no uba wesi kama ntaka fon ntogo fon edi kama ntogo fon omi ido ndedi oriogo afo kama di ni yakasana ama sangide mi bana masio atam di ni nam yakasana mempo ntum akimilinam iban eben to na murongo esangidem adogo make womponglo ikori bon anye di bon po eye me wosisi ari fort akene mentong to edu wemeni du mi ba ngini ne keke ikire isempo ibangile mni asiben me mfana asogi ban abunwan aneke fon ya anye sempo bangile mi akpan ini efusanga ke iti somfumi ana yidem nkan konfo na ansana itiefo nara ana efo baba nte wonwan agbeba nte inintommi aba mentom biari ubari bane sekeni bemiso mensise mietepe ubari ban eba moya bono kananga keseba nanga bia ibong bakrado zogotang ido kide musongo saba ubari bana do gidi ngo ke bana pan to mana fight to kidagami idi anyong fon ko mekan to yen esi kon to giban mo ma ke kana to yen to ni bi ake yo iswadu ke iso sokke ko bang to yen se so we to ngo enie me iti songo mi iso sokke le to ngo bene ke mfu atang me so yo iswa sokke le mi afone kai to yen so ka iso asendi to mo ide me bana bandi to iban fo ya di ngi da ganye to ngo ke angam mem bokidem afu awoto kenye asoko konogo afu dongo doko yimpo banga min sistemi adoko na yiki misani de memo adoko mempo seyina antena ba aturu nyini nsongi dem ido ge toko yine ke bidong mi de be do ke biaksia mi di ngo banga uba awu esi ni biake da uba resi kokokse uba awu eba moya kono kananga ke sero mensun sun tong fanantro adu biong tum mika yemete uba mete ese dare ningueta ado ko yin folo ke ma kum bontummi kummi sero uba ido udongo nko imi do hodo akemi yung do se ekayen abene gine nam ya abia bomba ka yung se yine di amo idem so uba ni memfana mi ke mi tappe yung ni do iti songo mi yimi di ke mi do bomfen afon etro yine wan anani e wana ye kamo iti ebogo ye kamo ba atoro eka atam adarini akpe mo bosenante mo rio mention ko anarante ibane ne kenam awa atati afu ngwana make mana yene ma agba man na yen no ma ngo yibe ya wo wo kire mi yewa awa kana agbedo anli do iti songo ndo sia do fo mana yinufa amana yinufa mi aje misani dem atati nkofo bu kama ubo yibe mi idowo nkanga wese ke kama mi aba mfene bara fo medio mo se ami mana akporo fo mi mana yene pa amedio ngo banga kini fo yidem ari bara wonte ke mpo si amfana si bani ni agwa kan si de ni anyo ke ne nanga basige boliba anyena kurwa ni si be mention sio etop ke banga ke nsongi dem idi ipane afro bonobo ado ke mponto re fanga zo kofra mo nzo ke kisempo ibangi ban sam fani bana wa atati ana miniro ibanu ton na akokom na oba fin kidem me fo sanga yiti son foro nyedo ke ku bia fini kan na ke sero sia ndo ngo nam jage di ngo bunyo bango to ngo ko se bia ibon bakaro dan na wana bunuka mfana so ko do body akemido ida fo ke se ke ni ti songo mi adi boron onye so body e kan na ke se bia ba ido wonte gire musongo ado se funyo akat abia bong bakaram fo ni yo do ofin ke mukbo ngore mukbo so kai so gidim fo sia na wo yo okpono ka me mpong ko aso okpono iwo ngoke gidim usong ofin ide musong amiena aye fon ado diet mbo diet ti ibane de kan bo ke mim imisimbo ibangide mo kendyun sia mfani ban a pun ado ba se ke nyong bo di ban aso no no nyen kemi ban ni lisembo bangide min ado na mi ni for ibo inim ge bon bakara idara gege wo ke me dikri ni so ngomi ake ni bodo ake mi ma ubang to ni to mo kiswa usokke ekat uba kiswa do bi ba ago ke mi yo kiswa fat isopi kat anyo mo ke ni nangide mi wo ba adi wo mo ke ani si fana wo bon te ke di fana ke wo na anyo mo ba fin gidem apere to ni bo iba tangi kono e kam fo ku da be won pon tikire ban po sama ke be pon song ide mi ku da be wo ye ke nyongoro mama se kre ka ko bukate ba ndu ngo bo ke kimi tappe a kimi ro ni to na mo ro asone ke fin gidem ana so suyo atangi ko ano mimpo a wa kide mi ba na mi si ki nyongi bo ye be nu do coffee ne dum anye go wa mi menstrual hygiene ke bara kiti somfu akama di mfu igu ngo ke manyo mo so ben pa asane kama tu mo ba hosime yo kama so kama sanga ifonno ama sana wa kila wa iba bugu san fin I do fanga nege yidem ba to ne so ke kai so iba ken song ere o kan so so mo tai ti si ki ben di mfane nyo mo lo tu am fin e mani ben ikon fin ikon no item ikoda ha fo ba ken song ere yidi so so mo tai ti ya se